Hi, welcome to AFTV. Now, we 0-0 draw against Palace, and this is the first person I want to speak to straight away because we've been speaking about this game from weeks before. It'd be interesting to see how Arteta was going to go about it, but I don't know if he had the right tactics or the right things in place today. Kenny, what were your thoughts? 0-0. Yeah, what were your thoughts?
Well, the thing about it is, all you got to do is you've got to realise, right? It was a reality check for a lot of fans. We thought we'd turn the corner. There's no criticism towards the players because Crystal Palace are a very good team, and the table doesn't lie. There was nothing between the teams in terms of where our performances this season, and in terms of like really real quality as well. Team selection, was wasn't his best friend today because Kieran had a muscle problem, which means he's been playing a lot of football. Because remember last season he was struggling to play a consecutive amount of games because he came to the club injured. So down at left-hand side, we missed him a lot. That's no criticism to Maitland-Niles. It's just that Maitland-Niles is, as left back, in terms of like trying to put those crosses in, he just has. It's not his game. He either has to cut in, or he hasn't got that beautiful left foot. So I think in that respect, I thought Joel Ward had a very easy game today in terms of like he wasn't troubled too much with Maitland-Niles' quality. Probably his pace, but not so much his quality. Because the minute he tries to cut into his right foot, Joel Ward's going to light up a cigar, said, right, I'm going to make some tackles. So in that respect, I think we missed it. But defensively, I don't think we missed Murray. I thought David Luiz did a good game. He was his usual self. Getting him, being a nuisance, giving away tactical fouls. Solid, passing's beautiful. He does something Murray can't do. He can't pass from long distances. And, he hasn't got that quality to lend himself to the attack. So, in that respect, no problem with David Luiz's selection. In terms of like Crystal Palace, they're probably going to feel a bit unlucky that they didn't win the game. First half, they're on a better side. They weathered the storm when we started really quickly, where we were on the front foot. We were passing the ball, showing a bit of confidence. Then when they managed to press us into the game, they pressed us into a lot of mistakes. And arguably, if you look at the Tompkins hitting the bar, Benteke drawing a save from Leno, who was very good today. In fact, fantastic in those two saves he's made. They would have gone into half-time really frustrated. Second half, we started really quickly, which I was really happy about.
Yeah.
But again, it's once Crystal Palace weathered the storm, we just ran out of ideas. And one of the things that really hampered us, which should have helped us as well, was when Saka went to left back, because I think Ward read him really well. And there was instances where Crystal Palace were launching counter-attacks from his side of the pitch, because a lot of times he goes walkies when he goes left back, and it's needing, someone like David Luiz and Xhaka to cover him. I want to just add one mention of Granit Xhaka. I thought today was our man of match.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you who you thought man of match was.
I thought Granit Xhaka was our man of the match. Not in an offensive way, but it's the way he helped us out in terms of blocking the shots, making those last-ditch tackles. Don't get me wrong. There were times when a lot of the times where he was giving the ball away. But in those areas, he gave the defence more than adequate protection. And if you look at the highlights rules afterwards, you'll see that he was blocking a lot of shots. There was a time when I think when Sahara had a shot in the first half, Granit Xhaka is the first one who reacts to that challenge, just smells it, and he managed to snuff out the danger. And he did that again in the first half, and he did it a couple of times in the second half. So for me, he was a man of match. There was a few idiotic moments, him getting silly, trying to, do the odd, little professional foul, but you can't knock him. Here's what he says in the team.
Yeah, fair. That's a fair point. That's a fair point, Kenny. I mean, I've given him criticism in the past, but again, throughout this game, I was just hot and cold. I know, I was just hot and cold. I was like, yes, Xhaka. No, Xhaka. Like, he's a very frustrating player.
But he wasn't the only player. He's the only player who struggled. I thought, as we mentioned earlier today, I thought Maitland-Niles struggled. I thought his best position is probably right back and probably in midfield. Left back, he's helping his mates out, but it wasn't his game. in terms of an attacking way. And I think Crystal Palace, like we play our best football down the left-hand side. And without, Kieran Tierney, it's hard for him to get that sort of understanding of Aubameyang, who I thought didn't do too badly today. I thought it was a very much improved performance today. I thought he was showing for the ball, trying to make things happen. Lacazette struggled today because I thought, Kouyaté and Tompkins had him in their pockets. It was an easy game for them. No criticism to Lacazette because you want to have these games. You're not always going to play well every day, but Crystal Palace, I think they watched the games against Newcastle. They watched the games against Brighton. They watched the games against Chelsea. So they did their homework on us, and they knew who to isolate. Make sure you go tight on Lacazette. Make sure that when Smith Rowe gets the ball, make him go and look for the ball. And then when he tries to get the ball, make those passes. Make sure that there's nothing for him to pass to. And I think that's where I thought Crystal Palace did their own work. But I'm not going to beat the guys up because full well if there was something to criticise, I'll criticise. But really and truly,
fair.
It was a frustrating day. Frustrating day for the manager as well. He's probably realising now that we probably do need to go in the market for a creative player because everyone's pinning their hopes on the youngsters. They're pinning their hopes on Sahar. They're pinning Saka. They're pinning their hopes on Smith Rowe. They're pinning their hopes on all these other young players. Yet, really and truly, a big club like us, we should be going in the market. We should, even this January, if there's someone available, and he's going to give us this 10% more quality, and get us up the table instantly, then we should be looking at him. It's no good saying, "Oh yeah, we got Smith Rowe and blah blah." He's a kid. He's gonna have good times, and he's gonna go in a bit of a trough. And he's not someone we can rely on. The same with Saka as well. We're relying too much on our kids, as opposed to the other players. So Bias as well didn't do too badly. He did his defensive work, but in terms of like this creative midfielder, that should be Tobias doing it.
True.
I don't know what it is with the guy. There's something I don't know. Last season, when towards the end of last season, he was doing things I was like, he was being a nuisance, helping out us offensively, creativity and everything. But this season, nothing. There's no creative spark or any creative influence coming from him this season. And this was a perfect game for him, where it was a tight game, and he couldn't. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. I really do think that we need to go in the market. I know people going, "No, but we got Mesut Ozil, and he's a creative player. Let's get him in." Come on, man. That ship left the port a long time ago. It's over.
Facts.
It's gone.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Listen, 100%. Kenny, thank you for your time. Thank you for your words. A draw when I think we should have got. We needed a win.
But what you need to do, Cecil, is put in context of the table and where we are now. Take away the fact that we're a massive club with a massive reputation with international team, and look at the performances of both sides. And let's face it, there wasn't really much in it. No, it could have gone either way. And if you look back in this game in maybe a week's time, or maybe 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, you may see it as a good point because we didn't do anything spectacular to win this game, and there's no instances that I can think of where we were unlucky today. We weren't unlucky. We just weren't good enough because Crystal Palace were better than us tactically.
100%. Listen, Kenny, thank you, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Newcastle,
thank you very much.
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Word of warning, Cecil. Newcastle are going to play the same way. They're going to play the same way. Same way. Same smash and grab. Not as much quality as Crystal Palace, but they're going to be more pace with Callum Wilson playing. So watch out for that.